Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've been meaning to make a video about my setup for a while. So this is just a very small setup tour of my setup. So right here, this is a gaming chair that I got from Staples, believe it or not. Now this thing is extremely comfortable. This thing was only, I think, $99 on sale, and the original price was $130. It also came in green and blue, no, green and black, blue and black, just black, and black and red. Now, I went in store and I tried this thing out just for, shits and giggles, just, oh, I want to see how every chair feels, and I love this chair, absolutely. I had a black one before from Sam's Club. It was not that comfortable, and this thing was by far cheaper and a lot more comfortable. Now, this is just a small table that I picked up on the side of the road from a person. There's also one right here. Both of them were painted brown, and I figured I needed some side tables because I have very limited desk space on each side of me. Now, they were originally brown. I actually spray painted them black because they were very ugly and brown. So yeah, and that is my Yeti water bottle that I bring almost everywhere with me, especially in the house, because I tend to drink a lot of water. Now this is my desk setup. This is RetroBite right here. Back in 2016, my cousin kept telling me, oh, you should build a gaming PC. Oh, you should build a gaming PC, because he did, and the one day I tried his, I absolutely loved it. So his budget was about $950. Now, I don't have that huge of a budget because, seeing from the side, this was about a $450 budget build. Now, in the beginning, I originally had an Intel Pentium G4500. I do not have that anymore. I had 8 gigs of Corsair Vengeance DDR4 RAM. Now, I have upgraded since then to 16 gigabytes. My processor is now an Intel Core i5 6500. Originally, I also had an Asus Radeon RX 460. Currently, now I upgraded to an MSI Gaming Radeon RX 580, 8 gigabytes. Now, believe it or not, I got this card off of eBay for a complete steal. Now, this guy had this card for the cheapest price of, he wanted like 170. That was back in November, and all of them went for at least over $200. He accepted my price of $130. Now, back in November, that was a complete steal. Like, you could not pass that up. Currently, back then, I originally had I believe an EVGA 450 watt bronze power supply. Now, to be able to run the Radeon RX 580, I had to upgrade. Currently, I have a Thermaltake 600 watt 80 plus certified power supply. This thing runs absolutely beautiful also. Now, looking at what I have on the desk, this is just a Samsung monitor my cousin gave me originally. So it was a TV, but you can also use it as a monitor kind of thing. Sorry. Now, this is also a Logitech C270 budget webcam that I use for streaming. So far, this webcam, it was about $15 on eBay. It's not bad, but I feel like it should show more of what's behind me. So currently it is for sale, so I'm gonna sell it soon, hopefully, and get a 1080p Logitech C2920, I believe. And that one is absolutely beautiful. It shows a ton more behind you, and it just works better for streaming. Now, this is my second monitor. This is the Scepter 24-inch monitor, and I got this off of Amazon because I needed a second display. I would do 3, but then I'd have to end up, like, horizontally changing my computer and moving it over. Now, I didn't want to do that, so I have just 2 monitors. I mean, I'd love 3, but my desk, as you can see, this was a gift, so it's not as long as I would have liked it to be, but yeah. Now, before I had like a Rainbow Havoc keyboard. It was just a budget one off of Amazon. Now, this past Christmas, I ordered this one. This is the Corsair Strafe RGB with cherry red switches, and it is mechanical, and I absolutely love it. The wrist rest had to come separately. I had to buy that separately because it did not come with a wrist rest, and for me, that was kind of like a risk right there to take, but I knew you could order a separate wrist rest off Amazon easily, so. Now before, this is the Corsair M65 RGB mouse, and it also comes with a software to change the lights from the bottom and the top, and it comes with different DPI settings. So as much as I hit the arrow, the DPI settings will change. And if you don't know what DPI is, it's essentially how sensitive your mouse is to moving. Now this is the Logitech MX Wireless 2S, I believe. Now this mouse is absolutely awesome, and as you can tell, it looks really nice. On top, this is just a scroll wheel. This button can adjust the scrolling, so if you want it very smooth like it is now, or like the normal kind of like, I guess you could say, chunky scrolling. And the clicking is great. That's like a good sound. This is a horizontal scroll wheel right here on the side, and I never thought a mouse would have that. This is also a back button and a forward button. And then the 3 dots, the 3 circles are your battery power. And this right here is also a button, as what you would rest your thumb on. Doesn't seem like a button, but yeah. And it just fits really nice in my palm. Now there's 3 little dots on the bottom, so you can connect to 3 different devices. Now every time I connect it, it thinks each different device is one, so I just go with it. Then that is the on switch, and it says MX Master 2S. I use this thing mostly for editing and web browsing. Now this is also just one long Red Dragon mousepad. Originally, I didn't have a mousepad under my keyboard, I just had one for my mouse. But I saw this, considering how long it was, and there's actually a cool design under it. Because, as you can tell, I kind of wanted to go with a black and red setup. But that's basically how everybody goes about it, so it still looks pretty sick. Now, the cable management underneath needs, like, normally I have all the cables pushed to get back to the right, so you can't see some of it, but the leg is kind of thin, so it's kind of hard to push everything back. Now, I also have in my PC 1 terabyte of hard drive storage from Western Digital and a 120 gigabyte SSD. Now, I also have the Gigabyte H110 LGA 1151 motherboard in there, which it seems pretty small, supporting the RX 580. And hopefully soon I will be upgrading that. But yeah, and this PC case, it is actually very interesting also, because I saw this on a YouTube video from a YouTuber. It doesn't even seem like it has a power button, but if you actually open this up, you can actually have DVD drives or something, and the power button is actually right there. So if somebody to come over your house, try to turn on your computer, they couldn't, because they don't know exactly where the power button is. And on the bottom, it also lights up because there was a fan that comes in here, and I'm not sure if it's intake or exhaust, because I've never really felt it before, but it still looks cool because it lights up at the bottom. Now, it's called the Aza Cosmos. I've never heard of that company or this case in general, so I just thought it was cool, and I got it for Christmas, so yeah. Now, I used to use the mic on my Corsair RGB wireless headset. Now, I don't mind this headset at all. The mic, every other YouTuber said this mic is actually terrible, which I can kind of agree with because it's not great. But the battery life on these things isn't that bad, and you can also turn it on and it'll be RGB. It will change colors. And it also is the same program as what you would use for the mouse to change the RGB lighting on it. And yeah, you can change it to whatever you want. Static, breathing, something like a solid color, like a variety of different colors, or whatever you may feel. Now, the only thing I don't like about this headset is after a while it tends to hurt my head, which I'm definitely not a fan of. A lot of YouTubers use the Astro like A40s or A50s, which I was actually thinking about getting because they seem a lot nicer, and almost a fair amount of YouTubers use them. So once these things end up dying out, I'll probably go with a pair of Astros. Now, this is an external mic because obviously the mic on the Corsair Voids is not great. So I found this one that people saying is good. It's just a external, what's known as toner mic. And I just have a static thing that I came with on top just to keep away from saliva and stuff. Now, it just clamped onto my desk. It's a very small arm. I would have put it behind here so it can just come over, but the arm was too small for that, and it almost barely hangs onto my desk right now. So this thing is actually like a budget $35 mic, but it's not really that bad. So, yeah. I believe that is everything from my PC setup. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.